Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. You may be seated. Before I get too much further, I want to thank Pastor and the pastoral team for this opportunity. I don't take this lightly. They've invested a lot in me and my family, and I really do appreciate it, and I love them. We are blessed. We have all felt like a book that people would not read because they judged the cover. We have all felt like people gave up on us before they gave us a chance. We have all felt ignored, forgotten, and hated. We have all felt mistreated, held down, and mishandled. We have all felt like Paul in 2 Corinthians 12:7, where he says, "Unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure." Truth is, some of our thorns are sitting right here with us. Truth is, some of us are sitting right next to it. But we've got to be careful. We've got to be careful that even though we were treated that way, that doesn't give us an excuse to treat others that way. If we're not careful, we judge. We hurt, we hold down, and we oppress. We need to take the approach of the verse that I opened with. Whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. If we're not careful, we look at that verse and we say the first four give me an excuse to show tough love, but that fifth one, there's no tough love and lovely. Amen. You can't be tough and lovely. We tend to be a little bit judgmental if we're not careful. When dealing with others, we need to focus on the goodness of God and not focus on how we perceive them to be. Tonight, as we were worshiping, God He reminded me of David's mighty men. And how most of them were people who just started following David. Just because he was a guy in the wilderness and they started following him. And he turned them into mighty men. Truth is, the people that we think, if we're not careful, who we end up judging, who we end up seeing that cover, because that's how we were treated. They could be God's mighty men as well. We could be, if we're not careful, the people we end up looking at, and we end up saying, I can't believe they're like that. Who are they? Those are the people who could end up fighting for us the most. They could be the one to bless us. They could be the one to help us. They could be the reason. They could be the future of the church. And if we're not careful, we tend to treat them, or we're going to accidentally treat them like we were treated. I don't mean to be judgmental. I have been there. I have been judged. What I felt was held down. I felt like oppressed. But who am I? If we're not careful, these people that were sent to help, we could end up hurting. If we're all ministers, and we all are, we've got to help people. Don't worry about what you see. God will take care of it. We're just a vessel to help them get there. Church, please be blessed.